Let's just say he didn't.
Okay. Well, then agree.
Stop, Spurgley. Let's just say he didn't. Let's just assume it. Stop, Spurgley.
Could Kamala
Let's just, can I have a back and forth for 2 seconds without you nipping my heels?
This is interesting that we're even on this. Like, the election was stolen, guys. That is why.
The 2024 election?
The 2020 election.
Andrew Wilson went on Timcast IRL and absolutely destroyed a panel of woke idiots who were saying just absolutely ridiculous things as they normally do. Andrew Wilson absolutely put them in their place live on Timcast IRL. Let's get into this clip here where Andrew Wilson absolutely shuts down an entire panel of woke lunatics for their ridiculous statements.
Let's just say I grant it. It's within his rights to set alternative electors. He's well within his rights to do that. Tell me why that's even wrong.
Do you think if Donald Trump threatened to kill an American, that would be fascistic?
Well, fascistic?
Well, I mean, like, so
we're gonna
just to clarify.
Yeah, I know it's really you're gonna try to go somewhere. Blah, blah. I want to stay focused because
we are being
no one's allowed to talk but Spurgley.
Yeah, come on.
No one's allowed to talk but Spurgley.
I'm trying to advance the conversation by asking a question to clarify the point.
I'm going to go back to what we were talking about.
You guys said he's threatening the media. Andrew said that he hasn't actually done it. So I'm trying to say, what if it was a more extreme threat that wasn't just I'll pull a license? What if Trump said he would kill an American citizen? Would the threat of killing an American in and of itself, without the action of doing it, be fascistic? And this is for everybody.
Specifically, like he's gonna
if Trump said, "I'm gonna shoot a guy on Fifth Avenue," I'm gonna go do it right now. My point being, threatening to take legal action, we can argue whether it seems kind of a legalese question. So I'm trying to shift it to let's talk about an extreme action Trump could threaten.
Okay. Well, I still haven't gotten an explanation of how it's acceptable to try to block the peaceful transfer of power from Andrew, which is what I keep saying. You brought up the fascism word. I said, hey, I get that people get real bogged down, which is why I've had hours of discussions about that particular term. I came here interested to see if MAGA figures could defend the actual actions, not the label, but the actions. And I'm yet to hear you walk through any of them. We're getting a little bit to the specifics of the media, so I appreciate that. But so to answer your question, him trying to induce a feeling of fear among the media as it's working with his rhetoric, with clear intentions, some of which he didn't actually get done the last time, but like he wanted.
Let me explain why I asked the question.
And I'm still waiting on either of them.
So here's why I asked the question about killing an American specifically.
Obama, I know.
No, it's because whether or not the government can pull a license is a legal question over whether or not they violated a public license, and so you guys are then arguing outside of the actual confines of a legal issue, so let's make it definitively an issue of illegal or legal.
Or we could talk about what Trump is.
Okay, the federal government grants public licenses with stipulations. If you want to debate whether or not they can or can't, that's a legal procedural question.
You understand you can have the governmental power to do something, but how you leverage it for the purpose.
This is why I tried shifting away to something more direct, like killing somebody. A threat to kill somebody is a direct question.
Again, the government can kill people.
The government can kill people.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, this belies the point of it. Like, this idea that it can't be authoritarian or it can't be fascist if it is within the technical legal confines of the federal government. That's absurd.
That's not the point I'm making.
Of course.
Which is why, again, the semantics would be really important here to clarify what we mean when we say fascist.
No one's bringing that up. We don't care about the labeling.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up, Spurgley.
We're giving you specific.
Yeah, but I love how he doesn't give in to like the soy boyness of Luke Beasley and this other guy. It's so funny how the first time Luke Beasley went on Tim Pool, he was so just calm and his actions, his demeanor was more reasonable. The things he was saying were ridiculous, but his demeanor was much more reasonable. Like, you can have a conversation with him. And then he gets all this feedback from all these lefties, Destiny, David Pakman saying he needs to stand up for himself more. He needs to really show Tim Pool, teach him a lesson, everything like that. And now he's coming in here. He's just absolutely unbearable to listen to. Like, he ruins the entire show because of just how argumentative he is. But not even argumentative. That's not even the right word. It's like obnoxious. Like, he's just so obnoxiously argumentative that it just ruins the entire show. And it's all because of the advice that he was given and the feedback he was given from his debate performance the first time, where Tim Pool absolutely destroyed him. Now he's getting destroyed by Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson's the wrong guy to act like this against, because he's not going to give in to your nonsense, your soy boyness. He's not going to give into it. And you can see that right here.
Okay, that doesn't actually tell me what we mean by this.
Guys, sure, it makes for great clips, but we don't need the ad hominems. You called him boring. You're calling him Spurgley. We don't need to do that.
Oh, well, boring. I'm in the conversation.
I don't think you're boring.
I don't think you're boring.
I'm not.
I just thought the conversation was getting.
And he is
boring,
spurting.
but okay.
So, but anyway.
Oh, call me out, whatever.
I'm happy to dive into this. You say that I'm avoiding your questions. I'm not. First of all, I'll answer them directly.
Sure.
It's well within Trump's rights, even if it was. Let's just say you were right. Let's just say I grant it. It's within his rights to set alternatives electors. He's well within his rights to do that. Tell me why that's even wrong.
Aren't people being prosecuted in states for participating in this scheme?
Who?
The fake electors.
Ooh.
In all
Wait, I got a question. Does the law prescribe morality?
No.
Wait, you said the right. Do you mean legal right or moral
yes or
right?
no
Moral
question.
right.
Don't get mad about it.
Oh, sorry.
No, I wasn't mad. No, I thought it was a good question. I was just,
So what's actually wrong with it?
So
Why is it even problematic?
because he didn't win the election.
So let's just say he didn't.
Okay. Well, then agree.
Stop,
Agree.
Spurgley. Let's just say he didn't. Let's just assume
Kamala?
it.
Just
Stop,
like Kamala?
Spurgley.
Could Kamala
Let's
have done
just can I have a back and forth for
The election
2
was stolen.
seconds
I mean,
without you nipping my
This
heels?
is interesting that we're even on this. Like, the election was stolen, guys. That is why
The 2024 election?
the 2020 election.
Oh, shit.
It was stolen.
Can I mean, I'd like to just dive into this so that we can figure this out real quick.
Why was it stolen? How was it stolen? That's a
Multitude
big
of
part.
different
Yeah.
factors here. I mean, I wrote it down. We got the mail-in ballot fraud,
That was a pretty sleek move there.
Dominion voting systems, vote counting observers, late-night ballot dumps, ballot harvesting, double voting, foreign interference, improper voter registration practices, manipulation by poll workers, geolocation data, surveillance footage, whistleblowers, vulnerabilities in election laws, suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop. I mean, what else? I mean, I think anyone with any common sense would understand, because we're talking about the fascism, and he challenged the election, all this other stuff. Let's talk about why he challenged it. It was
Because he lost.
No, because it was stolen.
Right.
It was
And
stolen.
sure?
There's a multitude of evidence to
remind
show
me which
that the
court-
2020 election, there was some type of interference to some degree. There's a multitude.
Which court he was able to demonstrate that in?
Pennsylvania in the lower court ruled on the merits that they
It was
violated.
like a procedural, but not.
No, it was an actual
fraudulent
hearing
things
where
he's talking about.
the judge said that the Constitution of Pennsylvania was violated by the implementation of universal mail-in voting. The Supreme Court overturned the ruling.
And he just.
Well, that's a higher.
By the way, if you're someone who is on the left, which obviously you're probably not watching this video right now, but it's crazy to me that people who are on the left, like if I was on the left, right, and you have any sort of common sense in your brain, you have any sort of morals or principles or anything, and there's one side who maybe they are, let's just give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Maybe Myron and Andrew Wilson and Tim Pool and everybody on the right who is saying there was nefarious things happening in the 2020 election, maybe they're overblowing it a lot, right? Give them the benefit of the doubt. Say they are overblowing it. Okay? If I'm on the other side, basically the side that is arguing for no election reform, we shouldn't look into anything, we shouldn't make sure that the election integrity is as great and as solid as it could possibly be. If you're on the side that's saying that we don't want to look into stuff and that you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, if you're just pushing for election reform and election integrity, I would probably leave that side. I would probably realize that, hold on, I don't think these are the good guys. If these people are claiming that they're the good guys and they also don't want election integrity to be as shored up as it can possibly be, they're probably not the good guys. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody has any sort of common sense and they're on the left wing and you're on the side where people are trying to not look into election integrity and making sure that the elections are as fair as possible, I think you're on the wrong side. Seems like that's a bad guy thing to do, right? Seems like the villain from a movie thing to do.
That's the higher court, right? So we should probly defer.
Well, so he asked me which court did it. I said,
right, I understand, but I assume he's referring to like a court's verdict or a court's
And
ruling,
you just
which
listed a
actually
bunch of like you brought up geolocation data. That was in like 2,000 mules, and they had to admit when
Yeah,
the
but
project.
the point I'm
reason
trying to
this
make
is
is
a
that
terrible
there's
argument
multitude of different factors.
The reason
that
this is
come
a
into
terrible
why.
argument is because if I say, okay, well, then who got prosecuted for insurrection? You'll say, well, just because they weren't prosecuted for insurrection doesn't mean it wasn't an insurrection. It's
No,
like,
I'm saying you
oh,
actually have to
okay,
prove
great.
claims, not
just
just make
because,
them.
well, hang on, Luke.
yeah.
Well, just because he wasn't able to demonstrate that the election was stolen in a court because they threw most of it out on standing doesn't mean it wasn't stolen. It just means that we had a bunch of judges
about the guy
who went after it on standing. But there is a lot of evidence here that should be looked at. I'm not saying it was stolen. It's not my position. Okay, but I am saying that.
Do you have a position? Just out of curiosity.
I think it should be investigated, and it never properly was.
Being investigated.
No, yeah. When Trump is in office, I think he should actually run a real investigation.
And by the way, guys, I get asked all the time how I grew this YouTube channel so quickly in this politics niche. And what a lot of you don't realize is that I'm a YouTube strategist that has worked with a lot of top channels in this niche, such as Benny Johnson and Charlie Kirk. Me and my business partner worked with. Russell Brand actually reached out to me and we designed his thumbnails and gave him some strategy tips on how to grow his YouTube channel. Lauren Chen, so many other names. I could keep going on forever. But what I'm actually going to do, since so many of you have been asking me, is I'm hosting a free live workshop, a free live class this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, where I'm literally going to break down the entire strategy that I use for this Justin Reloaded channel, as well as all the other channels and the top channels in this niche that we have worked with. I hope to see you there. If you are interested in joining, you can check the link in the pinned comment, or you can check the top link in the description, either one, and you'll be able to sign up and be at that workshop where I'm going to break all this down and show you how you can also build a YouTube channel to this point and make enough money to go full time with it.
Into it. I think that the idea that, well, Trump, so Biden takes the White House, that there was a legitimate investigation done by the Biden administration for the guy he could have lost to. I think that that's ridiculous.
But doesn't that motive work the opposite way too?
Go ahead.
Like doesn't that motive work the opposite way? Because Trump's position was before the election, it's stolen, it's rigged.
Well,
and during the
that's a fair criticism. I just think that you have enough third party people which can be approached who could investigate this in a way in which it was fair.
But they hired like third party groups. So like, was it Cyber Ninjas?
They weren't able
others?
First of all, they weren't able to subpoena a lot of the evidence that they wanted. They had a lot of the circuit courts throw things out on standing. I do not think that this was a legitimate investigation. And there are some things that should be investigated. For instance, it's not a secure election to have people just dropping ballots unsecured in a ballot box. That's insanity.
Yeah, but respectfully, Andrew, like subpoenas and standing, these things are like valid legal constructs. Like you have to meet like probable cause for a subpoena. If you don't have probable cause to get a subpoena, then that's on you. And if you don't have standing to bring a case, then again, that's on you. Like
the problem.
I'll bring it up again. You know, there's states like Florida that really prioritize election reform between 2020 and 24. They got their ballots counted and we knew exactly who won Florida and which counties and everything like that within an hour of the polls closing. And then there's the West Coast states and, you know, Arizona, California. It took them 2 weeks to figure out who won. And obviously we knew who was going to win California, but Arizona, like, it took them so long, at least a week. That's ridiculous. It should be unacceptable. And yet there's a whole side, there's 50% of the country arguing in favor of no election reform, of us not looking into it, of us not improving the election process. It's wild. You know, in a perfect world and in a world where I wouldn't be black-pilled, we would have two sides coming together and say, hey guys, let's throw everything out the way, right? Let's throw everything in the trash. Let's just make sure that we have fair elections, because if we can't even have fair elections in a country that's supposed to be a democratic republic, we don't really have anything. We have no common ground. We don't even have a baseline level to be able to work off of. Like we just don't have anything. We don't even have, like, this whole country is just out the window. If we don't have fair elections, that's what America is built around. We're supposed to be different than all these other countries that rig their elections. And if we can't even both agree that we should make sure and do everything in our power that our elections are fair, then, I mean, we don't, like, that's a black pill. That's why I'm black pill. That's why I don't think there is any coming back from this. Because these people are so brainwashed, they don't even want to, you know, fulfill the basic promises of what America is supposed to be. Let me know in the comments, you guys think about Andrew Wilson going off on Luke Beasley and this other guy. This entire woke panel getting shut down by Andrew Wilson and Myron a little bit there. He made a little cameo there. Let me know in the comments, you guys think about this whole Andrew Wilson versus these woke idiots on Timcast IRL.